Hey guys, this is Queenette. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Adventures of Q. On this episode and subsequent ones, I will be running you through how I went to Switzerland as a Nigerian citizen living in the UK and my itinerary for this trip, and also suggestions and lessons that I'd learned on this trip. If you're a new subscriber or you're new to this page, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you're an existing subscriber, please don't forget to like and share this video. You never know who may need it, or you might just need it for your next trip to Switzerland. So first things first, because I am a Nigerian citizen living in the UK, I had to apply for a visa and a Schengen visa for that matter, and with that it gives me access or pass to go to any Schengen country that I want. But because this trip was for Switzerland, and I got a few suggestions on other countries that I could have applied to just to get it, but they were not available within the time frame that I had, so I had to apply directly to Switzerland. And by doing that, I had to do it through TLS. I'll add a screenshot of that to this video. And when you do that booking through TLS, you have to first do a booking fee of £32. After that, you select a date for your visa appointment, and then you go for your visa appointment, and then you get to pay £76 for your visa. So when you do the application, they would show you or tell you what you need or your visa requirements. Or just to run you through it, you need a completed application form, which you'd find on the website. You need a passport photograph, not your passport, a passport photograph. You need a copy of your passport and the passport itself, which you'd submit after the appointment. You need your UK residence permit, or now the share code, because the residence card or resident permit is no longer valid. You need your visa fee, which is £76. You need your 3 months bank account statement, a copy. You need your hotel booking confirmation. You need your travel insurance. Yes, you need to get travel insurance. I got mine from post office, and I got that for about £69.46. And then you also need your letter of employment as well as your 3 months pay slip. So with all of this, put them together, arrange them in the order in which they've been listed, and submit it. And in under 2 weeks, I think in about 10 days, I got the result of my application, and I got the visa for this trip, which you'd find in the next video. So moment of truth, guys. I put in my application to Switzerland, and the decision is in to know whether we're going or not. So I just came back from TLS and I just got it back. Yay! We're going to Switzerland! We're going to Switzerland, guys. So this is a multi-entry Schengen visa. I got the visa, guys. Going to Switzerland, baby. Point to note is it's best to do your TLS application on a laptop or a computer, because I had a few glitches trying to do it from my phone, and I eventually just had to switch to doing it on a computer instead of on my phone. So it's best to do it on a computer. So when you're doing this application, you do not necessarily need to pay for your accommodation or your hotel booking if you do not have anyone there to stay with. If you look on booking.com, you'd find a couple of accommodations or hotels where you can book and pay later, and that was exactly what I did. And by the time the decision came for my visa, I had to cancel that because I was going to be traveling around and I couldn't stay in a particular place. So I had to start changing, and eventually I had 3 different bookings for the duration of my trip. But you have to do all of that modification after your visa has been approved or granted. So that's for your accommodation. But for your flight, you definitely need to pay for it, because It's only when you pay for it that you can get the confirmation which you need to submit with your application. And for my flight, I used BA. I think there are a few other airlines that go to Switzerland as well. There's Swiss Air, there's BA, which is British Airways, and I think there are a few others. If you look on Skyscanner or Google Flights, you should be able to find on there. I chose BA because of the season that we're in, and it's winter, and I needed an airline or a ticket that would give me a checked-in baggage option so that I could have space to pack warm clothes and layers. So these are one of the things that you need to consider when traveling in winter. You can't travel light, you need to pack layers, you need to pack warm clothes, so you need as much space as possible, which was why I opted for the BA option. Some other airlines would give you similar options, but I think by the time I calculated it, it worked out better to do with BA, which was why I did it with BA, and I flew from Heathrow to Zurich. So I feel like I'm going to make another video that lists out lessons that I learned on this trip, and I'm making these mistakes so that you don't get to make them as well. So this video is really important to watch for your next trip to Switzerland. And in terms of clothes and packing, I feel like I did a bit of overpacking, because as much as the weather application says it's colder in Switzerland, I feel like the temperature feels much colder in the UK compared to Switzerland, because there were loads of times when I could go without my coat or just be out without my coat, and it didn't feel as freezing as it does in the UK. So most of the layers that I took, I didn't even get to use them, because most of the clothes I had were either fleece or jumpers, which were warm just on its own with a single layer, and I just throw my coat on and I'm good to go. Also, you need to get an adapter, because the electric sockets for Switzerland is different from the rest of Europe or America, so you definitely need to get an adapter. I will plug in the Amazon screenshot or link to where I got mine from. It was a twin adapter, which I feel like was a steal, because it was cheaper than most others, and it did an amazing job. Honestly, I give it to that adapter. It did an amazing job, and it was a two-in-one. Use one for the entire trip, and which I ended up giving to someone, but it was a good deal. Also, I packed loads of snacks, feeling like, okay, there'll be times when I'll be feeling perkish and I would want to grab some, but I barely even got to touch most of them. That's the thing, I barely even got to touch most of them. So those didn't really serve its function. But if you're someone who is very big on snacks or the things that you like, I would advise that you get that, because I don't know how easy it will be to find your preference of snacks or whatever it is that you like to eat. Lastly, for the Wi-Fi, I will attach screenshots. Shout out to Faith on TikTok. I'll probably share her screenshots, because I realized that I didn't share the screenshots, or I didn't start the recording from where I should have. But connecting to the Zurich airport Wi-Fi is very different from connecting to Wi-Fi anywhere else. So you need to run through a certain process, which is slightly different, because you have to scan your barcode. I will do a video as well as attach some of her screenshots so that you can see how it is that you need to connect to the Wi-Fi once you get to the airport, and you don't feel stranded just in case you need to find your way around. Also, very importantly, you need to download the SBB app. It's kind of like TFL for London. So on the SBB app, it can show you directions to places that you need to go. You can also buy tickets from there. Even though I bought a travel pass for 3 days for the most of my trip, which I used, but subsequent days I kept on buying tickets from the SBB app. So you can both check directions for how to get to where you need to get to, and also buy tickets or train passes or day passes to get around. So another lesson I learned on this trip is not to arrive at your destination at night, because by the time I got to Switzerland, it felt like I'd lost the day, coupled with the fact that it was a Saturday and most shops were closed. It was late. Trying to get around was a little harder. Shops were closed. I wanted to get a SIM card outside of the airport and I couldn't. I was just really restricted. So next time I'm gonna be landing in a day. And of course, the view getting into Switzerland is so beautiful, and I feel so bad that I missed that. And oh, something interesting happened on this trip. So while we were landing, it felt like we landed, and before you know it, we were taxiing again and we were back in the air. It was so strange. And then the captain said that it was due to the wind that put the plane in the wrong direction, and the best thing they had to do was get back up in the air, circle around, and try to land again. So we had to land twice, pretty much. But yeah, this is the view getting into Zurich Airport. Touchdown Switzerland. So here's the tricky bit with the Wi-Fi. On your list of Wi-Fi options, click on the Zurich Airport Wi-Fi, go on the boarding pass option, and then look for this kind of machine that you can see on the screen. Scan your boarding pass, and then you get a code which you put in and click on done, and then you should have access to the airport Wi-Fi, and that's you done. So this is me just making a video of the airport surrounding and duty free. And then from the point where we got dropped off, you get on a tram to go to baggage claim, then you get your bag and then you can check out. This is me just flaunting some Swiss francs that I withdrew. So you don't need to withdraw cash or do any exchanges. Your British ATM card should work in Switzerland as well. And whether you need cash there or not is another question that I would say there's really no need to, because I barely needed cash. I only just used it because I had it and I wanted to make use of it. So this was me on my way to the hotel. On this night, I was at the Hilton Garden Inn at the Natal in Spreitenbach, which was, I would say, the best of all the hotels that I stayed in Switzerland. And it was so good I had to come back. This is my room after being checked in. Hates to see me coming. It actually does. And I ended up taking some pictures. Watch out for more episodes on my Switzerland trip. Catch you. Bye.